very offended by that idea that everybody in the bank would have a gun. I might feel uncomfortable with that.
Mm-hmm.
Might feel Piers Morgan would certainly feel uncomfortable with that. He was chatting with Jamie Foxx. He was at the what was the name of the restaurant that they were
Soho House.
Soho House. So it's not a restaurant. It's more of a private, exclusive club that only the very, very snotty can get into.
Yeah.
He was at the Soho House.
Yeah, this champion of the little guy, of the 99%. He's at the Soho House.
So he was there with the star of Django, one of the most violent films ever made.
Yeah, nothing hypocritical about the gun control nut who is starring in Django,
right?
Killing every white person in the movie. Yeah. Oh, and then Mr. 99%er was having dinner in a restaurant in Beverly Hills.
Okay, so hang on, wait. We have to say what Mr. Django said he learned. he was standing there in the Soho House, and he was talking to Mr. Piers Morgan, and he took me out of the elevator for 11 minutes, and he told me that he'd grown up a black guy in Texas, where he learned compromise. Oh, well, I didn't see compromise in Django, did you? I didn't see it, but it doesn't look like a compromise movie.
Maybe the compromise was he shot people in the head rather than the belly. Was that the compromise?
Maybe.
Killed them quicker.
Working together.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's talking to Jamie Foxx. Now this is all part of a monologue that poor Piers Morgan said he's being threatened. Pat.
Oh, no.
You don't receive any death threats on your email, do you?
No more than 1 or 2 a day.
Yeah.
No more than
Pat.
that.
Who wants to kill Pat besides his wife?
Quite a few people.
Yeah, and that's only around dinner when he looks at the plate and goes, "Oh, jeez,
really?
This again?
Something healthy again?
Healthy?
Where's
Why?
the steak?
Oh,
I'm going to drive it through your heart. That's where the steak is.
That's what I get every night.
All right, so
and you only have, I think I heard 437 ongoing serious threats at any given time from your security people.
We have, I think, at any given time.
And that's just the people who are really considered a super big following, like stalking threat.
Yeah, we have at any given time, I think, 15. That was the number I heard recently. 15 at any given time, ongoing. You know, it's really neat when your kids come into your kitchen and they see the pictures of people that are sliding on the moving screen that are just people that are stalkers or killers.
And by the way, if you've seen any of these people, run for your life.
Yeah, hey kids, these are just faces that if you see, you should stay away from. That's all that is. You know, that there's Piers. Do you have that yet with your kids? Because I've got that with mine, and it is fun. It's good for them.
I get so tired of these liberals who, I'm getting death threats daily. Really?
Now listen to this. Who is he whining to about how tough his life is and how bad it is? He's whining to all of the cool kids
in Hollywood.
If you're on our side, you get death threats, you get banged around, you get called names. There's nobody except the rest of us losers who are standing around going, I know. We're the fat, ugly kids that keep getting hit in the head with the kickball. I know. I mean, we're the ones. And he's having to whine with Jamie Foxx, and then he's on the red carpet at the Oscars with Dustin Hoffman, and Dustin Hoffman says, "God bless you for what you're doing." Adele told one of his colleagues, "Tell Piers to keep going. He knows what I'm talking about." Oh, Adele, and then he's in an Italian restaurant in Beverly Hills with Kiefer Sutherland, and Kiefer taps him on the shoulder and says, "Thank you. You're doing one of the bravest things I've ever seen on television."
And I like that next line. This coming from Jack Bauer in 24, the single bravest character in the history of television.
Character.
Yeah, it's a character.
Not an actual person.
And by the way, that character once sawed a guy's head off. Cut his head off. Yeah, and he's concerned about violence.
Yeah.
Kiefer Sutherland, really?
Yeah, and then Warren Beatty, who campaigned quite a bit on guns in the 60s, at lunch. He's having lunch with Warren Beatty, and Warren says, "You keep going. You stay strong, boy. We feel sorry for you." We here in Hollywood at this Beverly Hills overpriced piece of crap snotty restaurant feel sorry for you. Why don't you come over to the mansion and take a swim in my pool? How do you do it, Piers?
It's interesting because
How does he do it?
I mean, Piers obviously impressing these Hollywood celebrities. It's possible he's going for quality of audience instead of quantity at this point, because I noticed that he had 87,000 viewers on
my gosh.
Thursday
No
in the
way.
9 p.m. slot, losing to Rachel Maddow, 254,000 to 87,000.
Now, is that in a demo or is that?
That is in the demo.
Wasn't
Okay.
87,000 what we had on Headline News when we started?
Yeah, that was before we increased the ratings by 133%. Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
87.
So you have some perspective. 87,000 a night. That's not in the demo.
That is in the demo.
87,000 in the night is really go home, blow out the pilot, and turn on the gas.
Complete disaster.
Oh,
To
it's
give
a
you
disaster.
to give
Disaster.
perspective, again, lost to Rachel Maddow 254 to 87. Also destroyed by Dr. Drew on Headline News 208,000 to 87,000.
Holy cow.
Of course, needless to say, destroyed by Hannity at the same time, but also destroyed the previous hour on his own network by Anderson Cooper by 45%, and then destroyed in the next hour after his show by Anderson Cooper again. That's how bad this guy is.
So Anderson Cooper has decent ratings going into a show. He blows everybody off, and then they come back again.
Come
for
back again
Anderson.
for Anderson.
But see, you know
Wow.
what? This is the way the left is. As long as you're cool with the right people, you're okay. You're okay. They don't do business.
Yeah, and he's having lunch with Kiefer Sutherland.
He's having lunch with all these Hollywood stars, and so you know what I love? He's going out a victim. He's going to go out a victim of these evil gun control people. The gun lobby. The gun lobby was the one who did it to me. And
He will blame the NRA.
And he'll cry himself to sleep on an overstuffed down pillow every night.
And the NRA is not punching down to this guy anyway. They don't care about what Piers Morgan is. I don't think they've even responded to this guy.
He really is. He really is. As a broadcaster, he is awful.
And he's destroyed every night by anybody who stands up for the Second Amendment. And the other night was a great example of this. When he had some guy who was on there defending, I forget what his name is, but he was spouting some facts about gun control and how it doesn't work. And then Piers Morgan calls him a liar. Then it turns out to be the truth, even backed up by Christian Amanpour.
How do you justify the claim more guns makes more safe people in America? I don't know. I don't get it.
People.
Every place that guns have been banned, murder rates have gone up. You cannot point to one place, whether it's Chicago or whether it's D.C. or whether it's been England or whether it's been Jamaica
Sorry, but
or Ireland.
that's a complete lie.
It is not.
It's a
Okay, complete lie.
complete
You
lie.
can go
In
to
Britain,
the home-
the gun murder rate in Britain is
Do you
35 a year
understand-
average.
do you
You
understand-
need to stop repeating
Stop-
a blatant lie about
Listen.
what happens in other countries.
Look, sir.
35
You
gun
don't-
murders a
you-
year. No, you're not going to
No,
get away with this.
just one
You
sec.
lied about it the
Sir,
other day.
just-
35 gun murders a year
No,
in
get to
Britain,
Christiana.
11
I
to
can take
12,000 in
You-
America.
Christian's about to back him up in a sort of roundabout way.
Stop
You want
lying,
us just to
because what
no,
you say
you
drives
don't even
people-
understand simple math.
What you say
Can I
drives
explain
Americans
something
to go and
Look,
buy weapons
There's a difference
to defend
between saying
themselves.
something's low
Unbelievable.
and that it increased. What I say is there's lots of reasons why murder rates differ across countries, but when a ban is put on, it still may end up being lower than someplace else, but it went up.
He's
There's not
completely right.
one place.
He's completely
Everybody
Can I
knows.
just give you the facts
Educate
here?
the man.
Look,
Okay, so here comes Christian Amanpour to give just give the facts on this.
Do you understand the difference between
do, sir.
changes?
I do, yeah.
Okay, and what happened after 97 into the murder rate in
after
England?
Dunblane, they put in these bans, they put in these punishments, fines, jail sentences, etc. And it's true that
1997.
straight afterwards there wasn't a huge change.
Straight afterwards, actually, it went up a lot right afterwards.
But in 2002,
Okay, so now she's talking about 5 years later after the gun ban, after it's already gone up.
2003, until 2011, the rate plummeted by 44%.
Then it goes back down 44%, but it's still higher than the rate before the gun ban.
And the other thing is,
Still higher.
They love to throw this out. You have to remember that the crimes are still happening. The violent crime rate in the UK is over double our violent crime rate. It's just not happening with guns. Is that good?
Here's the thing. We have not slept really since Sandy Hook. I gave my staff an impossible task. to put together a book called Control: The Truth About Guns. And it's about 200 pages. We just finished editing it. It went to the publisher yesterday. It's going into its final edit now with the publisher. It is powerful. We had, and I don't want to name names, we had a couple of gun people that you would really, really respect that do this for a living. And we had them read it and said, what have we missed? What have we not covered? I got a note back. I wish I could read it to you. Got a note back from one of the guys said, this is the most powerful case I have read for guns. You have nailed all of it. And what we've done is we're going to publish it in paperback, and we want you to keep a copy of it on you. And we want you to don't even have the argument. You have the argument, just look it up. Okay, hang on just a sec, and look it up. You're having this argument? Oh, it's all in there. All done. Not going to get away with it anymore. Tired of it. And if they don't like the facts, then that's their fault. Fine. They can go ahead and do 2 + 2 = 5 all you want. I'm not going to play your game. These are the facts. Period. That's the truth. It's coming out in, I think, April. Is it April? Do you know, Stu? When this thing is supposed to come out?
Yeah, I think it is April.
It's coming out in April. I urge you to buy it. We'll give a copy of it to everybody on our staff. I urge you to give a copy of it to everybody you know. It is really, it's as powerful as common sense was. And that was passed on to people time and time and time again. Buy one copy and pass it on and tell somebody else, pass it on. But this one, you're actually going to want to keep, because this one, you're going to want to have these at your fingertips, because it's all about control. In the end, it's not about guns. It's not about the truth about guns. It's only about control. That's it. And tired of having the argument. Tired of it. We'll show you not only the truth about guns, but what the real problem is that nobody wants to talk about. Oh boy, and do we hammer that one home. Whew. Some people will be ringing in their ears. They're going to get such a beating on this one. Control. You can probably find it now on Amazon.com, or it'll be in the bookshelves in April. But I suggest that you buy a copy for yourself, and maybe a few for some friends who are hanging around dummies for the truth, exposing the truth about guns. Control.